Good morning and welcome to Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Buddhism is quite a religion by its nature, and that is learning, meditation, and enlightenment, peace. There have been contradictions, undeniably, as I wrote once, that non-violence is a credo of Buddhism, but more wars have been fought and much cruelty has been practiced in the name of Buddhism. Same is about Christianity. Same about Islam. Islam means the religion of the peace. But then, whenever any religion becomes fundamentalist, it loses its mooring and cruelties are the norm. The Inquisition, Spanish Inquisition, the cruelty of the Muslims over their conquered lands, name it and it's there. And the Buddhists are no exception. This is a human feeling. But today, we talk of Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva, what is it? This word is constructed from Sanskrit word bodhi. Bodhi means intellect, enlightening, awakening. And sattva means being, living, becoming. Now this is a very curious thing. In no other religion, apart the founder has been equated with any other one. But Buddhism is the only religion in which anybody with meditation can awaken and be enlightened and become a Buddha. And that is Bodhisattva. This credo is a sign of hope, is a sign of salvation for the mankind, because people know that given the effort, given the commitment, they can achieve the same status as Gautam Buddha had. He was the first Bodhisattva, and so can others become. There's an almost identical thread in Jainism, Tirthankars. So, this is a different sort of religion, where religion is not prescribing that only he is a founder. Yes, as for the outsiders are considered, they are founders. But the level can be reached. Whether they have reached or not is something different. But the possibility and the probability, both are there. Now the word Bodhisattva, the core meaning is a person who is on the way to becoming enlightened. And what is enlightened? To become a Buddha. Gautam Buddha became enlightened and then he was called a Buddha. So the core meaning of the word Bodhisattva is a person, a being. It can be a woman as well. Now, let's be very clear. There is no gender discrimination in Buddhism. So, a male or a female. So that's why I say being, a living being, who is on the way to becoming enlightened is Bodhisattva. And another thing, I said living being. It doesn't mean only man, women are human beings. It can be an animal, it can be an insect. But the desire, the yearning, the hope, the effort must be there. And the word Bodhisattva is understood in different ways by the different groups of Buddhists. Now here is a paradox. The same word, the same term has different connotations for the different followers of Buddha. Now Buddhism is not one. There is Mahayana and there are 3 or 4 different branches. Most important are 2 only, but then the concept of Bodhisattva differs. Who is Bodhisattva? That's a question. In Theravada Buddhism, Now, Theravada Buddhism is the most important aspect, or rather a sect of Buddhists who are very much prevalent in Southeast Asia. That is Cambodia, Laos, part of China, not the whole of it, Siam, Korea, Philippines, so in that, Japan even. So in all that, Theravada Buddhism is the most prevalent sect. And here, the term Bodhisattva is used exclusively referring to Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. As Buddha was known as Bodhisattva before he became the enlightened, before he became a Buddha. So Bodhisattva is in the process rather, the process of becoming enlightened. And Theravada Buddhism, only one person achieved that status, and that was Gautama Buddha. Now, in this school of thought, the term Bodhisattva also refers to Gautama Buddha, but not in this birth, in his previous births. Now, this concept has a very, very different connotation. A, it denotes that there is a transmigration of soul. While according to Islam and Christianity, once you die, you are interned, and there is no transfer of the soul from one species to another species. Buddhism, since it took birth from Hinduism, subscribes to the theory of the transmigration of soul, like Sikhism does, like Jains do. You see the core religion? So the cultural impact and the basic parameters do not change. So the word Bodhisattva refers to Gautama Buddha in one of his previous rebirths, where he worked towards enlightenment through numerous life-changing experiences. And nobody is aware, according to Theravada Buddhism, whether he worked in this way as a Bodhisattva when he was an animal, people, or other being. Because you can get enlightenment through various lifetimes. And those lifetimes can be animals, can be people, or other types of being. The only thing is, you should be living. You should be. Okay? If you are living, if you are being, you can become Bodhisattva. Now, according to the legend, Gautama was born as a crown prince of a kingdom in the far northeastern state of Bihar. We know that. But he gave up his throne, left his kingdom, all his riches, although his parents to chain him had married him, but he left his wife and his son. And purpose was that these bindings of family, of richness, of wealth, are impediments to get enlightenment. So he left all of them, went to the forest, started meditating, searching for enlightenment, and ultimately got enlightenment under the tree, Bodhi tree, the tree of intellect. Now imagine the connectivity. A being, one being, human being, sitting another being, that's a tree, and getting enlightenment, and in return, the tree gets to be enlightened. This interaction of the man and the tree enabled even the Bodhi tree to become Bodhisattva. Okay? So that is something which is exclusive to Buddhism. So, eventually, He fulfilled his destiny, and the transitional from a being to the enlightened being was achieved, and he transcended the status of Bodhisattva and became Buddha. Now, in the other group of Buddhists, the Mahayana Buddhism, which is practiced widely in East and Central Asia, the concept of Bodhisattva is different, though it is used in similar way, but this form of Buddhism, Mahayana says that there are many more than just one Buddha. Now in Theravada, as I said, there is only one Buddha, that is Gautama Buddha. But in Mahayana, there can be many. They may not have become, they might be in the process of becoming, but there is no limit to Bodhisattva. The term is used, so partly the way it's done in Theravada, and partly different. And there are many more than one, as I said. So the believers of Mahayana say that to become a Buddha themselves, they can do it, and their effort should be to become Buddha. They may not reach. That's a goal. So when you are journeying to a goal, you may not reach the goal, but the process is important. This is what I discussed earlier also in one of my talks, that the process is much more important than the ultimate goal. So, most serious followers of Mahayana take Buddhist vow to become recognized as Buddhist. They take a vow. I am going to get enlightenment, I'll meditate, I'll think about it. But the process of my renunciation of the world, of the worldly goods, of the worldly ties starts. Apart from this, in Mahayana belief, there are certain highly evolved Bodhisattvas. They are already there, who have been practicing Buddhism for so many lifetimes, as human beings, as animals, as insects. And they have been practicing Buddhism for so many times, they have become superhuman divine beings. And they are no longer human beings, they become celestial Bodhisattvas. They achieve that status. So they have evolved from being to Bodhisattva to celestial Buddhists, but still not Buddha. And they are said to have accrued immense merits and powers. However, they have intentionally chosen to delay becoming Buddhas in order to dedicate themselves to passionately help others. So the sense of empathy, they say, no, we are happy as Bodhisattva. We want to help people be relieved of the pain and the suffering, propagate the middle path, but in this sense of compassion, we will not become Buddhas, because once we reach that status, our companionship with the people may be broken, not that they will be broken. So the next question which arises is, why do they matter? Why are they important? Some of the most famous advanced Buddhists are there. We are aware there are various people who are Bodhisattva, such as Avalokiteshvara, Kanishka, Mujdhari, Samanbhadra, Vajrapyani. And people pray to them. They are like, the super deities, like in Hinduism, and then the deities. So people pray to the deities. Here also the Bodhisattvas are prayed to. They are the angels. Their offering is given to them. Texts and mantras are associated with them, and they are regularly chanted in the words across the world. The devotees hope that these Bodhisattvas, in their infinite compassion, will hear their calls and respond. How? By sending their blessings of health, good fortune, and happiness. I don't know. I'm not a believer in religion as a formulated religion, but then I was seriously saved. And I was on the board of trade, and another director who was a Buddhist came to me. She gave me a mantra, asked me to recite it. Now, whether it was medication or recitation of mantra, I was fine within a couple of days. Well, the doctors had advised 6 months of rest. No, I did not. So, but it was the intervention of Bodhisattva, and she had told me to pray to Kshitigarbha. Kshitigarbha is one of the Buddhists, as I said. So, Buddhists believe that these celestial Bodhisattvas reside in heavens called Pure Lands, not Pakistan. Pure Lands are there, and they are not in this world, they are in faraway, distant cosmos. The Bodhisattva, for example, Maitreya, is said to be currently living in Tushishta heaven, where he is awaiting rebirth as the next Buddha of the world. So one person, one Bodhisattva is ready to be born as Buddha in the world, and that is Maitreya. Now, because they can manifest, the Bodhisattva can manifest in different bodies, similarly, they appear on the earth disguised. They can be disguised as human beings, they can be disguised as animals, they can be disguised as vegetation, as flowers, as trees. For example, now, Tibetan Buddhists believe that Dalai Lama is a manifestation of Bodhisattva of Rishikeshvara, a Kleshvara, called also Chirungyan in Tibet, and Dalai Lama is an incarnation of that. And he regularly comes to the earth, one after the other, to spread his message of compassion to humanity. So, this Bodhisattva, this celestial Bodhisattva, incarnate in Dalai Lama as a human being, but they can be in different shapes, as I said. So, this concept has two benefits. One, connectivity in the different beings, living beings, whether they are vegetation, whether it's nature, whether it's animals, whether it's insects, whether it's birds, and whether they are human beings. But they can be there. Other meaning is love and have peace, live in peace with everything. Connectivity, interconnectivity. You don't know which animal may be Bodhisattva in disguise, and you need his blessings. Here, possibly, if you know it, the Mahaka Vishnu story by Khushwant Singh, in which it shows that the servants are offered milk, and one servant, when offered milk, hit the devotee on the head, and there was a mark on the head of Vishnu. So this can be there. But the interconnectivity basically is sustainable living. Now this is a concept which we call modern. But basically in the shape of parable, in the shape of allegory, the connectivity of nature and man, the connectivity of good deeds with the enlightenment, compassion and empathy, these are the bases of becoming Bodhisattva. You can become one if you have those qualities and inculcate them without a sense of rancor, without a sense of malice or a sense of hatred, love, empathy, connectivity, concern, and meditation, goodwill of everybody. And you can be Buddhist. Thank you.